Hi everyone. Today I have another quick tip for you to keep in mind when you're developing your game user interface and visual assets. And this is something I've been working on in my game, um, and it's called color contrast. And what I mean by that is that you have to make sure that when you choose colors for your text or icons or any important visual assets in your game, you want to make sure that the colors stand out against any background colors. If the background colors and foreground colors are too similar, then they're going to be really hard to see. So, for example, I want to show you this image that I made quickly in Paint, right? So you've got a red background with some bright orange text. All right. And for most people, when they're looking at this, that orange text against that red background is very hard to read, especially if they're viewing this image on a small phone screen or something like that. So you don't want to have something, two colors that don't look good or that don't stand out against each other. All right. On the other hand, I want to show you a screenshot of a message box that I was working on in my game. Okay. So I have a light brown or tannish background with dark brown text. And if you look at this, it's a lot easier to see the text than it is if you were looking at this first image. Okay. So very important. You want to make things easy for your players to see. All right. And this might sound like an obvious tip, but I think sometimes you might not be sure if the color combinations that you've chosen are good contrast to each other, especially if you account for the fact that maybe someone else looking at it might have vision impairment, or your vision might be a little bit sharper or different than someone else's. All right. And I mentioned before, I am someone who really likes um, objective measurements, right? So, not do I think it looks good, which could be different from person to person, but something concrete that I can look at to get an answer to that, right? And to help you, there are actually tools on the internet that can let you check your color contrast, right? So this one from coolers.co. All right, if you go to coolers.co and look up their contrast checker, what you can do is you can grab the text color and the background color, and if you need to figure out how to get the color codes, look at the tutorial or the devlog post that I did yesterday, all right, about color pickers. And you can enter those color codes into this tool, and they will tell you the tool will tell you how this contrast looks with small text and with large text. So if we use the colors from that first image I showed you, the red background with the orange text, it's very bad, very poor for small text and large text. All right. On the other hand, I grabbed the colors from the brown that I did. Let me actually grab that really quickly. Um, Give me 1 second here. Okay. Oops. Okay, let me just grab the color codes again really quickly here. So the color code for the text was 281300. Okay. 281300. 281300. Okay. And the background color was C7B299. Okay, so C7B, C7, 7B299. Okay, so now I have a very good rating for small text and large text. So basically, um, I have a much better contrast with the second image, and I have objective measurements to support that. Okay, so very important. Check your color contrast. All right, and this is not important just from a game perspective, but also if you have software or any kind of project that needs to meet accessibility standards or legal requirements. So, for example, if you're working for the US federal government to build a website, and many other governments as well, those websites have strict accessibility requirements to help visually impaired people or visually people with different vision abilities to be able to see the site properly. All right, and there's lots of tools and resources out there that you can use to check your colors from an accessibility standpoint as well. So, for instance, there's also color blindness checkers or simulators, right? Where if you choose an image, um, you can see how the image looks in different colorblind configurations, right? So if you have different types of color blindness, you can simulate how that image would look. All right. Um, so then that way you can see how a colorblind person will look at it. All right. So you can upload your images and check them out that way too. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to share this with you really quickly. Something that I hope can help you to make better games with easy to see and easy to read user interface. So again, thanks, and I'll see you again next time with more tips and updates on the game. All right. Thanks so much.